Let's do this.
What is up, all my beautiful viewers? Today we are going to do a guide on Ezreal in the AD carry position. I know he's my favorite AD carry. He's probably many of your favorite AD carry as well. So hopefully this video will be pretty exciting.
Sounds apocalyptic.
I am a bit sick at the moment, so if you hear the occasional cough or sniffle, I highly apologize. But I just couldn't stand not making a video for you guys, so I'm doing it anyway. So we're just gonna go with it and hope that it doesn't mess anything up. All right, so like I said, it's gonna be on Ezreal. As I say in many of my videos, that skin, that pulse fire skin. This is just buy it. If you didn't buy it when it was on sale, that kind of sucks, but you should buy it anyway because it's fantastic. So it looks like my support wants to do golems, so we can do that. Alright, so I like to start boots 3 pots with Ezreal as I do on most champions in almost every position. Boots 3 pots is just really good start out. Gives you that increased speed, which is never a bad thing. As far as the first ability to get, you can either get E or Q. I like to wait a little bit to figure out which one to get, because if they invade and I need to get away really quick, I'll level up E and so I can use it to get away. Or if it's just a normal game like this one, I'm probably going to get Q so we can do golems easier.
What's their position?
Okay, so it looks like Sona's going to be my support this game, which is the harass from an Ezreal and Sona lane is pretty crazy. So this will be really good. She's taking a lot of damage, and I missed. Sorry, I was trying to look at my mana.
A little outdated.
This is taking way too long. At least Sona can heal. Alright, so now that took an hour. Sona didn't really do that right. She's supposed to kind of kite it back and forth, but it's okay. It's not a big deal at all. Alright, so basically, as I was saying earlier, the harass from a Sona Ezreal lane is really good, just because of her range plus my range, and it's really scary to deal with. They do have Taric though, so they shouldn't be in too much trouble. Right now, we're just gonna concentrate on last hitting and not taking too much harass from Graves. As far as masteries go on Ezreal, I like to take a normal AD carry masteries, 21 in offense, all down the left side, and then when I do not have a Soraka in my lane, I like to get a few points in utility for the mana regen, and then 2 points in defense just for the extra armor, because it's always good to be more durable. As far as runes go, I take flat AD reds, flat AD quints, armor yellows, and magic resist per level blues. It's pretty standard for an AD carry. Some people like to run some armor pin in there, but I do not. Just because when people's abilities like Ezreal scale off AD, it's always nice to have the extra AD, and it also makes last hitting a bit easier. Alright, so I always get E at level 2, just in case of a level 2 gank or some kind of weird shenanigans down a bot. It's always good to have that escape. That's one of the reasons why Ezreal is such a good champion, and it's one of the highest picks and ban rate right now, is because of his ability to protect himself without relying on his team to do so. Alright, so that was a little scary, but we were able to get out of it. Graves' Taric lane is really hard to deal with because of the burst it can put out, but we should be okay.
Time's running out. Scanning for real threats. None detected.
Alright, so my health is getting a little bit low, but hopefully we're gonna be alright. Just gonna concentrate on last hitting and not dying. Because at early levels, Ezreal is slightly weak, especially against a Graves' Taric lane. And the minions keep blocking my Qs, which is really annoying. But if none of the minions blocked my Qs on Graves, then I probably would be able to kill him right now. But can't, because that's been happening. Yeah, pretty much what you want to do as Ezreal is you want to use his E, his arcane shift, to either you know, get out of things and help yourself survive, or to go in when the enemy champion is weak or in a vulnerable position.
I'm centuries ahead of them.
Alright, so like his abilities, his Q is just basically just a ranged skill shot that does damage, nothing more. His W is also a ranged skill shot, but it can go through minions, and it also lowers attack speed on the enemy champion, and that's another reason why Ezreal is so good. It's because in trades he can throw that out, and then he'll get off more auto attacks than his opponent.
Fight the inevitable.
Alright, so we don't have enough mana to be able to kill either one of these guys, but we got really good damage out on both of them. If Graves would have just messed up his flash there, we could have killed him, but he didn't mess it up. So he's gonna live today, but not for long. So I'm really low on mana, which sucks, but that's what happens when you don't have Soraka in a lane. Back to his abilities. His E is it's called Arcane Shift. It's basically just an escape that also does damage. You just teleport to your cursor's location, and you also shoot out a little beam that does some damage. And then his ult is just a big, huge skill shot that goes through everything and has unlimited range. It's a really fun champion to play just because of all his skill shots and whatnot. And he's pretty much considered the best AD carry right now, just because of his mobility, his self-reliance, I guess, is what you can call it, because he has such a great way to escape. He doesn't need his teammates to, you know, help him not die. And he also just does incredible amounts of damage. Alright, so it's kind of hard for us to poke this lane, like I was talking about earlier, just because it is Tarek's Graves, and like I said, Tarek's stun can throw out a lot of burst damage.
Grimdark future, huh?
I think I have enough mana to go in on Graves right now, so I'm gonna try.
I'm centuries ahead of them.
The wave is too pushed, so I don't really want to go on him yet.
An enemy has been slain.
No turning back now.
He's really weak, but like I said, the wave and Tarek's stun, I don't want to jump into something that I'm not sure about. In a sense, because of Ezreal's Arcane Shift being a sort of a gap closer, it's kind of like if you use that to go in on someone, you know you can't use it to get out. So you want to be 100% sure that you'll be able to.
Sounds apocalyptic.
All right, so we got that.
An ally has been slain.
So we get Graves. Sona got off a great ult there. That was really good by Sona. She saw that I was exhausted and knew that I couldn't do damage at that moment, so she stunned, and then when I got out of exhaust, I was able to finish him off. So that was really, really good by her.
They don't know what they're up against.
And it looks like she's going to go back and get some wards, and I'm going to go back as soon as I push this wave. I'm going to go ahead and push this next wave too with my ultimate, just so Graves loses the maximum amount of XP.
All systems charged.
I know I don't have a ward, so I'm going to try and do this quickly. Alright, and now I'm going to go ahead and go back. So we got our first kill. I always like to go Trinity Force first on Ezreal, and I know this is like a controversial topic in the League of Legends community. It's like, oh, do I go Trinity Force, blah, blah, blah. I think Trinity Force, the only way you should ever go Trinity Force is if you get it first. Because what it does for you in lane is really unmatchable by Infinity Edge. Because with Infinity's Edge, it's like, cool, you can auto attack and they hurt more. But like the health Phage gives you, the slow it gives you, it just helps you win trades so much more, and it's really, 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 it shines in the laning phase. So I see no reason not to rush this item first every time. Unless you're like, you know, 7 kills ahead at 15 minutes and you can get a Bloodthirster or something like that. But
Grimdark future.
in all normal situations, I highly suggest getting Trinity Force first. It's just the utility it provides combined with, you know, synergizing with Ezreal's burst damage is just, it's just too good.
Sounds apocalyptic. I'm in.
It's truly too good.
We're living in the past.
Slain an enemy.
No turning
An
back
ally
now.
has been slain.
Yeah.
You
Alright, so I went in deep on Taric right there, and we didn't really have a ward up here in the river, so we didn't know Nocturne was coming. But it looks like my team might be able to clean this up pretty well, so... Oh, never mind. Lee Sin kicked her away. I'm not sure. They probably could have went in on that and won. Right now, a lot of people say to get Phage and then skip the Doran's Blades. But I don't like doing that because why would you when you can just get that much more health, and you also need the lifesteal.
Grimdark
So I like
future,
doing
huh?
that.
Too easy.
killing spree.
Alright, I'm going to go ahead and see if I can snipe Graves here. Don't know if I'm going to be able to, but... Oh, barely.
I'll
Almost
make
got
my
him.
own
Almost
future.
got him. So I pretty much had to choose between trying to kill Graves and to farm this wave with my ult. So I chose to try and kill Graves. I think I just saw someone right here, so I might be able to kill them if they're doing my golems. Yep.
No.
Hopefully Sona can get some kind of stun on him.
I'll make my own future.
That was pretty good by him, actually. To get away. Alright, I'm just going to go ahead and finish this golem since I'm here.
Give me the coordinates.
Oh, so there's Turk. Lee Sin's here, so I know I can be kind of aggressive. But our try is probably warded. So
I'm centuries ahead of
Lee
this.
Sin probably won't be able to do much. So I'm just going to continue to farm. I'm beating Graves by about 20 farms, so that's really good. I also have 2 kills. I don't know how many he has.
Sounds
He
apocalyptic.
has 3. Okay then. And he has double buff.
All systems charged.
He exhausted me at the last second.
Ally has been slain.
Yeah, Graves with double buff hurts.
Enemy rampage.
So that was unfortunate. He got his stun up and exhaust at the very last second. So looks like I'm going to lose my tower, but that's okay, I can still farm. Graves only killed me once besides that one, and so the other 2 kills he got were not my fault. Which is kind of
Ally has
unfortunate,
been
but
slain.
you play with what
Sounds
you're dealt.
apocalyptic. I'm in.
So as far as skill maxing, I like to max Q first, just because it's your highest damaging spell, and it's just it's good for your burst damage. Some people like to max W second, just for the more damage, but I like to max E second, just because I feel the utility of that spell is just really, really strong, and so the shorter the cooldown is, just the better for you in general, because you can get out of so many different situations.
Weapons hot.
And also, when you're using it to get away, or when you're using it to go in, it does do damage, and so that damage increases when you level it up as well. So I just like getting it second. I just use W for the attack speed debuff, really. I don't really consider its damage very much. So this is what I like to do.
All systems charged.
Rampage. Shut down. An enemy has
This looks like the rest of my team is not doing too bad.
Grimdark future, huh? Too easy.
We can't really fight this right now because Graves is
Sounds
2 levels ahead of me, and that's done. I'm gonna die. See, that Terra Graves stun is really hard to deal with. Really tough to deal with. A lot of people consider Terra Graves to be the best bot lane right now, just because of that reason right there. Tarek stuns and then it's ridiculous. See, they just did it to her too.
Dominating.
What's their position?
Alright, so now we can work towards our Sheen. Get my ult out, possibly hit some Graves. Nope, I missed. That sucks. Alright, so my team's able to take out Graves, which is nice. So now that he's dead, I'm going to try and push this tower the best I can.
Give me the coordinates.
Looks like Amumu's here. Not really too worried about it. Kali is here too. That I am kind of worried about.
Centuries ahead of them.
Two people I can deal with, not three. Okay, so we're able to get both of those.
Sounds apocalyptic. I'm
We don't have any wards up here, so this is kind of scary, but I really can't afford not to farm. So,
in. Cannons prime.
do it. Oh, like I was gonna look to push the tower, but now that all these people are lurking around everywhere, it's probably not a good idea. We really need some wards in the river, Sona. Ooh, I was able to get it. Nice. Alright, so now we're just going to continue to farm. We can't really trade with Graves ever again because of how many kills he has. So we're just going to look to farm and wait for the laning phase to be over, I guess. That's really all we can do. Can't really fight anyone.
Sounds apocalyptic. I'm in.
Alright, I see Tarek coming down, so Graves is probably with him. There he
I'll
is.
make my own.
So we can engage with him because he's still about 1.5 levels ahead of us. Don't get stunned.
Ally has been slain.
Alright, so it happens every time. You should probably expect it now.
Target acquired. Sounds apocalyptic. I'm in.
Yeah, so that was just my Sona kind of derping. She should realize that every time Tarek stuns, we die, so
All
there's not much we
systems
can really do
charged.
about that. So yeah, we're just gonna continue farming. This is what you do as AD carry. You just want to have the most amount of farm possible. Even if you die, you can still carry your team. Because it's not about how many deaths you have, it's just about how much damage you can do. So even though our lane phase kind of got screwed over by Graves getting so many kills on the rest of my team, including and me, all we gotta do is farm and keep it up. We're still winning in farm by not as much as we should be, but we're doing okay. I'm really low on mana, so I really can't look to fight right now. You always want to be aware of your mana, especially as Ezreal, because his damage is so dependent on his spells, especially if you go Trinity Force. You just really got to be careful. If our jungler would come down here right now,
Cannons
we
prime.
would be able to do quite a lot because they're so far away from any type of safety.
Can't fight the inevitable.
Don't know how I get that last hit, but just gonna freeze it right here.
No turning back now.
Call Mia.
Enemy killing spree.
And continue farming. So, this game's not looking too good for us. We're just gonna have to see what happens when team fights come around. See if we can win the first few.
All systems charged.
But we've pretty much lost the laning phase, so if we lose the first couple team fights in this game, it's gonna be over pretty quickly. And like I said earlier, we were winning our lane at the beginning because we
Give
got
me
that
the
early kill.
coordinates.
But then Graves got a lot of kills on my...
Grimdark future, huh? Too easy.
I might be able to get away from this. Alright, so I was able to get away.
Systems charged.
That's one of the, powers of Ezreal, is being able to do stuff like that. Looks like Lee Sin's coming in. I'm really low on mana, so I don't know if we're going to be able to do anything with this, but we can try.
Scanning.
Well, Lee Sin just kicked him to safety, so...
Weapons hot.
Yeah. So Lee Sin saved Graves' life right there. I'm really not sure why.
I'll make my own future.
If he wouldn't have done that, we would have been able to get
Sounds
a
apocalyptic.
easy double
I'm
kill.
in.
But that's just what happens when you get a Lee Sin who doesn't play Lee Sin very much. Which is fine. It's not a big deal.
Rampage.
A Fed Akali is a pretty big deal, especially if she's an anti-carry champion, so we're gonna hope that doesn't affect us too much. Alright, so it looks like everyone's mid, so I'm just gonna keep pushing, I think. I might die because of it, but since we're behind, getting a tower might be worth it. Oh, nope, there's Graves.
Give
Time
me
to
the
go.
coordinates.
Still beating Graves in farm. So that's good at least. And we've almost got our Trinity Force. Actually, I can probably go ahead and sell Adorns to get a Trinity Force.
No
That's not a
turning
big
back
deal at all
now.
to have to do. That's what Dorns are there for. They're just placeholders until you can sell them for what you need. And since we're behind, I'd go ahead and getting the Trinity Force a little bit earlier than I normally would is probably a good
I'll
idea.
make my own future.
Alright, so I see our red buff is up. Oh, and Amumu's here, so... If we're going to be able to do anything about it.
No.
So we're just going to, like I said, continue farming. Because this is what you do as an AD carry. You just farm until you have to fight for your team. So that's what we're going to continue to do.
Their weapons are a little outdated.
I really want to push this tower down because they've pushed ours down, and so just to even it out, it would be nice to have their tower.
I'll make my own.
But it's kind of hard to do, especially with our lack of wards.
All charged up.
See if I can get my team to come help by pinging it. Let's take the tower, dudes.
Give me the coordinates.
Nope, wait, nope. Looks like there's a whole team coming.
I'm centuries ahead of them.
I don't know if they want to go in on us or not, but we can't really take that chance because we can't see very much in the river.
They don't know what they're up against. Sounds apocalyptic. I'm in.
Oh, yep, there's a Moo.
All systems charged.
Yeah, we're just gonna run. We can't kill any of this. We probably shouldn't have even tried to do that, to be honest.
Enemy double kill.
Because Akali's so fed, Graves is so fed, we really shouldn't have even tried to fight that. As soon as we saw we weren't going to get the tower, we should have just left it at that. So I didn't get any of those CS, which is really unfortunate.
All systems charged.
So it looks like this game is not going to end very well because, like I said, that first team fight didn't go our way. So that's a pretty good indicator that this game is going to be rough.
Turning back
Now, so we don't have any towers and they have 3. So, but it's not that huge of a deal. Like I said, it's all about the education. It's not whether I win or lose. It's about teaching you guys how to play Ezreal. Alright, so when I'm going to Trinity Force build, I don't like to get Infinity's Edge till last. I like to get Bloodthirster as my second item, so I'm going to go ahead and get that Vamp Scepter for the lifesteal, and then save up for a BF Sword. So it looks like we're still winning in farm by 10, which is good. Lee Sin's pushing my lane right now. I'm not sure why. He needs to let the AD carry farm up as much as possible. Graves is middle, so I might look to push this tower. If I can last hit. I'm just trying to push.
Turning back now.
Okay, we might be able to get this. Yeah, I think we're going to be able to get it. Yeah, easy. Well, that's good.
All systems.
So we got most of those. But the point is we push the lane. And so now since we're in the teamfight phase, they either have to go save that tower or let it push and teamfight against us. So we're making the other team make decisions, which is the key point in doing something like that. So I did that to check see if their blue was up, and it's not. So Tarek and Graves are still top, and Akali's dead, and I see a Moo middle. So I'm just gonna maybe take this tower as well. If I could do both, that would be a big victory for us. Taking towers for free. It's really all I can do at this point. Like I can't even worry about if I'm gonna die or not.
Grimdark future, huh? Too easy.
Rampage.
I might be dead, but I'm gonna try and recall. Nope, they're still fighting, so I'm just gonna push this tower. Alright, they're coming back for me now, so I'm gonna go ahead and B. I should be able to get this off before they get here. Because I really don't want to die. Alright, so I was able to get it off. So that's really good, that was scary.
Sounds apocalyptic. I'm in.
So we're gonna try and get red buff assuming it's up.
Your turret has been destroyed.
I'm centuries ahead of them. Sounds apocalyptic.
So they've got pretty much map control over everything right now. They're all in our jungle. Can't do much about it. Graves probably took our red, yeah.
Grimdark future, huh? Too easy.
So we're just gonna try and farm. That's all we can really do.
Give me the coordinates.
Alright, so I won't die, but I saw that coming a few seconds before it happened. So
No turning back now.
I was able to get out of it, but just barely though. Graves just does so much damage. She's so far ahead of me. 10 kills, it's ridiculous. So I wasn't able to get either one of those kills, which really sucks. Because my team really should be letting the carry get the kills, especially when I'm behind because they gave Graves so many kills. But it's not a big deal. We will still be a-okay. I'm gonna go stop a Moo from taking this tower, because we really don't need to lose towers right now. We should be taking towers since we're up by 2 people.
What's their position?
I don't think Gangplank's gonna be able to get him a move, but at least he chased
All
him off, which is
systems
good.
charged.
So I'm gonna go ahead and get our blue. Ezreal with blue is never a bad thing, because just the more you can spam your abilities.
Time's running out.
Okay, I'm not gonna try and snipe that Amumu because I wouldn't be able to do enough damage to do it anyway. So I'm just gonna help my team take some towers.
Dark future, huh? Too easy. All systems charged. Sounds apocalyptic. I'm in.
Alright, maybe we can catch Graves off here if they come down through Baron.
All systems charged.
Alright, so now we can do Baron since we did that. They just threw hard. Their whole team wasn't at Baron and they still tried to do it. I'm not sure. Alright, so we were able to get Baron. I ulted there because I knew that they were standing behind Baron, and so I was hoping that I would hit them and scare them from trying to steal it, and also do damage to Baron at the same time. That was my plan there. I just made it up. Just making it up as I go, just winging it. Alright, so the other team just threw pretty fucking hard. Sorry for the language. But that was pretty incredible. Pretty good for us too. We got the gold, we got the buff, and we got several kills for nothing. So we caught up a lot right there. Alright, so we're able to get the dragon. Now we're going to go back and buy, get our bloodthirster, and we'll be good to go. Don't have enough for Last Whisper. Don't have enough to sell a Doran's Blade to get the pickaxe either, so we're just going to keep it at this and try and get our bloodthirster farmed now. That's one of the key things you want to do. As soon as you get to the point where you have that bloodthirster, you just want to farm it as much as you possibly can. So I'm going to ult this creep wave just to help me farm my bloodthirster a lot quicker. And I also hit the entire next creep wave, so it'll help us push the lane much faster.
Give me the coordinates.
Now we just need to group mid and force a fight. Because with Vigor's stun and my burst damage and Sona's stun, we should be able to pick off a few people before anything bad happens. Because right now Graves is still bigger than I am, but I think our team comp allows us to get more free damage.
Grimdark future, huh? Too easy.
So in team fights as an AD carry and as Ezreal specifically, you just want to make sure you position yourself correctly in the back. Always hit the closest target. That is the biggest rule of being an AD carry that a lot of people overlook. It's not about killing or hitting the target that's the easiest to kill. Like, I'm not going to try and focus Graves. I'm going to stay max basic attack range and hit whoever I can hit. That's what you want to do as AD carry. Because your main goal is surviving and doing damage over time. It's not about, you know, instantly killing someone. You have other champions on your team, and their job is to kill their AD carry. You just want to survive while still doing damage. That is the main goal of an AD carry. It's not to, oh my god, get kills. It's to stay alive so you can put out the most damage over a period of time.
Weapons hot.
And I think, you know, unexperienced AD carry players, once they learn that, they'll be good to go.
What's their position?
Alright, so we're just kind of hoping that we can catch someone out right now.
I'm centuries ahead of them.
So my team wants to keep farming, but we really need to use our Baron buff. It's a really important advantage, and we need to use that advantage to our advantage. Haha. I don't think their blue buff's up. So even though we have control over the map, we're still letting them get their buffs. Like they got their red, they got their blue. We don't need to let that happen. I'm still farming my Bloodthirster.
I'll make my own future.
Probably would have been nice to have my ult right there. I just didn't think that they would line up so perfectly for me.
Grimdark future, huh?
But see what I did there? I basically, I sat there and just did constant damage, but still stayed alive, and that's the important thing, is staying alive. So we just need to not be greedy and just take this tower. Okay, so I got a lot of good damage out on him. That's one of the powers of Ezreal, is you can jump in and do that kind of damage really quickly. It's always nice. Alright, we're just going to take this tower and take the inhib as well. Because they really don't have enough people alive to stop us. You see how I'm still full health? That's your goal as an AD carry, is just to sit back and do the most damage that you possibly can.
No turning back now.
So I'm going to go ahead and ult that. And I also did not lose any Bloodthirster stacks, because I didn't die. And so that's, if you have an item like Bloodthirster in this Trinity Force build, you need to, you know, stay alive as much as possible so you don't have to refarm it. Because refarming your Bloodthirster might be one of the most annoying things in this game. Can I get it? Almost. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and look to buy Last Whisper. We have just enough to buy it. After Last Whisper, I'm most likely going to get Guardian Angel. Just, it's always nice to get your defensive item as your second to last item. Because as soon as I get that, even if they do kill me, I just get back up and do all the damage over again. And especially since I'm Ezreal and I can use my Arcane Shift to get away from them as soon as I revive myself, it's really hard to deal with a Guardian Angel Ezreal. So that's why I like to get it on him 9 times out of 10. The only time I get Quicksilver Sash is if they have like a Skarner or something like that. But usually you can keep your distance from champions like that without having to have the Quicksilver Sash. So as I said, about 90% of the time, Guardian Angel is the way to go. Just since you have such a good escape. If you were a champion like Vayne or something that didn't have very good escapes, then Quicksilver Sash would probably be a smarter choice. But
Give me the coordinates.
Guardian Angel's really good on Ezreal. So it looks like we're going to be able to catch these guys.
What's their position?
We really don't need to fight here. We could probably win, to be honest, but it's just kind of scary.
They're living in the past.
We don't have a ward, so we need to be really careful. Alright, so we got off a fantastic ult. Alright, so we were able to get out of that without dying, which is really good. And we got a kill and a bunch of assists. So that's the important part. I'm really low on health, but I think that I'll be okay if I just lifesteal off some of these and then take the tower. Oh yeah, one trick with Ezreal is your W. Ezreal's passive basically, I forgot to talk about this earlier and I apologize, but if you hit one of your abilities successfully, it increases your attack speed. And that's why it's okay not to get Phantom Dancer on Ezreal. But your W, when it hits a champion, it activates your passive and makes your attack speed faster. But it also works on your team, on friendly champions. So if I use my W on them right there, I just got double attack speed buff because of that. So I can just sit here and keep doing that, and it'll keep giving me attack speed. Alright, so I was able to finish off the Nexus even though they were killing my teammates. And so we were able to get the win out of that.
Victory.
Um, that really wasn't so much our win. It was more the other team making themselves lose in order to win, which was awesome for us. But as I said, I would have got Guardian Angel next. I'm just going to go ahead and click home so you guys don't have to read the chat. I would have gotten Guardian Angel next, and then I would have finished the build with an Infinity Edge just for the extra auto attack damage. Um, So yeah, that's pretty much my AD carry Ezreal guide. If you have any questions, feedback, or anything like that, you can ask me in the comments below, or you can post it on the forums when I post this on Double Buff at www.doublebuff.net. So I'm always, happy to hear feedback and stuff. And remember to like and subscribe if you like the videos, and I'll see you guys next time.